I looked up to you guys like the way you look up to Jamal. And I always tell everybody, yes, people always ask about the big names that I worked with, and they were incredible. But I always say I learned the most from the dancers because they were my age. They were going through life, but they were on this amazing set, and we were all learning together. I think that's what it was. But then we all had to learn how to do everything all at once together. And I think that was the magic of Hairspray, was everybody was really just in sync. And I look at the relationships now, and just to seeing these people take on a role in my life that, let's face it, 14 years ago, if Hairspray never happened, who knows what I'd be doing, but I would never have John Travolta, to text and keep up with, and I'm not saying that because that's his name. I'm saying that because he's a true friend to me. There's one thing to play a mother and daughter. It's one thing to play best friends. But to actually make that relationship stick and put in the work of a friendship outside of the movie and build that lifelong bond. I mean, I will always look at him as a third parent. I'll always look at Anthony Carr as my real life link,
I was gonna say the fact that Stewie and Dwayne were not Elijah. Hear me, Elijah. Seaweed's best friends in the movie, and me and Connect. He's literally like my brother. And I don't have either of my brothers anymore, so this bond means so much more to me than I think I even really verbalize and say. He's literally like my brother, and it's so crazy to think that this all started from somebody being like, you're gonna play this person and you're gonna play this person.
Yes, they had no idea. They were truly the puppeteers of all of our friendships. They had no idea that they were putting us all together. And these people, I look back now, and it's funny when I talk about Anthony, it's like I'm writing my book, and I was writing a chapter on how much just I love him, and it's like, it's funny for anybody who's listening, he was my first kiss, no biggie. And I talk about it all the time because I feel so blessed to have had somebody in my life at that time to show me true love and affection and just be there for me and just be my friend. He was just such a system of support. And now here we are 14 years later. I've come out of the closet, and I just went out there to visit him a month ago or a month and a half ago, and I just slept on his couch, and all we did was watch Growing Up Hip Hop, and it was the best.
Okay, so we're gonna it's been brought up a couple of times. I need to hear about this whole coming out experience, because my narrative for you is that you love Anthony Carr.
Right. Yes. No, I know. That's been our narrative too. I mean, hey, that was a big narrative in my world for a long time. Right. But what I'm saying is, it's interesting. I feel like even though I've come out now, and I don't date men, I date women, but he was the perfect first person for me to be in.
Agreed.
He took such care of my heart. And when you find somebody who cares about your heart and your soul, there's something that transcends beyond the boundaries of a relationship or anything like that.
In the
conventional terms.
Conventional sense, yes.
So it's we're also grown adults, and we're able to have this amazing friendship now. And coming out for me, I have to say, working on Hairspray and seeing so many confident, out and proud individuals, men, women, it just, for a long time, I just didn't really act on it, or I didn't really think about it. And then, when I started really living my life authentically, I found myself thinking about those individuals that I came across 14 years ago. People like you and Adam Shankman and Neil Marin and Zach Woodley and Jamal Sims, and just so many people that are just proud. And it made seeing you guys and even seeing your Instagram stories now, and you just all living your lives authentically, it made more of an impression on me than you know. And it
Wow.
really encouraged me to just rip off the Band-Aid, the rainbow Band-Aid.
I'm so happy for you because I'll be honest, and I mean, I think maybe, and this is gonna probably sound terrible. Please don't drag me in the comments. I think it's easier for women to mask their um, queerness, I guess
Mhm.
is the word to use.
Yeah.
Whereas like somebody like me, I wear my identity very publicly, whether I wanted to or not. Like I didn't know any better. And to be embraced and celebrated in that environment is part of what made me feel okay. And like you said, seeing Adam Shankman and Zach and all of them and just being in this environment where being who you are was okay. It was the first time that I felt that. And I was 22 when we did Hairspray. And I know it's not crazy. Um, but like thinking about it, literally, I was just like, you people have helped me even more so embrace it because they were so comfortable. I was able to show up and be comfortable. I didn't have to have that extra layer of okay, gotta be macho.
Right. I felt, before I came out, my friends that did know, or people that did know, I was always on guard. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop and somebody to, slip and let it out. And so I
Yep,
felt that once I finally did it myself, it was such freedom. And I just thank you for just setting that example for me so many years ago. You have no
never.
idea what it's done for me.
Yeah, I remember us having our conversations about everybody in the cast hooking up, and I ain't got nobody to hook up with.
Oh my gosh. We were
I
just
think you
a
tried to
bunch
hook
of
me up with Shane.
crazy kids.
I think you tried to hook me up with Shane.
I'm sure I did. Back then, look, I couldn't look, it was amazing that I ended up with Anthony. Like, you know,
Look,
it could have gone a
and
million
that's
ways.
it could have because literally it was like hookup nation on this cast. Like the kids were just out here, and I was just
Well,
like, oh,
I always joke, people always ask us, like, my friends will be like, what was the set really like? And I'm like, it was just so much fun. And I'm like, also, you take like how many, like, I don't know, 150 gorgeous individuals, ship them off to Canada, put them in a hotel together and give them per diem. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to play checkers? And I don't think so.
baby, we would be up all night. We were bad.
Oh
We
my
were
gosh,
bad.
my old apartment window. I would look out my old apartment window onto your guys' balcony, Anthony's balcony.
Connects. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It was like a modern day Romeo and Juliet. He would call me and he'd be, hey, come to the window. And I would see all you guys and I'd be like, oh my, it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's what's crazy about that too was that there was no supervision.
Nope. Other than Karen Blonsky.
And Karen was here for all of it.
She
Karen
was,
loved all of it.
oh my God, all of it though. My mom, you guys, at one point, a production gave her like a regular car, a sedan to like drive back and forth to set when she couldn't be there with me. And it got so much, she was so close with all of the dancers and everybody that she actually asked for a minivan because she was like, I'm shuttling everybody back and forth. Can I at
Fourth.
least be able to take like 6 people at a time instead of 3?
Listen,
It was
and
so fun.
it was so good. Like I have nothing but fond memories of that experience, and then getting to watch the premiere of it in Toronto with you and Elijah, and then we could bring all of our parents, and we and all of us sat together in a row. It. I was like, this is what I want to do, guys. Hairspray to me was a crash course in being in the industry, and because I had to show up, I had to be prepared, and again, I didn't want to make them feel bad about the choice that they made in picking me. I also didn't want the senior dancers, like senior sounds awful, but the more seasoned dancers to be like, who is this kid and why is he here? It was the exact opposite. Everyone was just like, Hollywood, you are the one. We love you. What are we doing this weekend? I was just like, what is my life?
It felt like it was, you took basically a lot of the kids who probably didn't fit in school, I didn't fit in, you know,
at
and you
all.
took us all and we all came together and we all just celebrated each other. And as much fun as it was a lot of hard work. Like what we're talking about, like all of the fun experiences, but even the hard work was fun. I remember just like it doesn't even feel like work, any of it though, when you're just truly loving every second.
Well, I mean, to talk about the hard work that was being put in, Nikki lost so much weight that they had to pass.
Yeah.
She lost so much weight because she was rehearsing like a crazy person. She wanted to get this right. And I remember being like, this 18, well, 17-year-old girl is out here dancing her butt off. How dare I not show up and dance my butt off? And but that's what I'm saying. You set a tone for everybody that is why is in large part the reason why I think the film translates the way that it does. When you watch You Can't Stop the Beat, we danced our butts off. Okay? Like when they described what it was going to be like filming this number, that thing took like a week to film.
There, I'm not kidding. It was, people ask me all the time, what was your and Zach's kissing scene like? And they want some big romantical, you know, fantasy. And I'm like, look, it was 9 days of us standing there like this, mouth to mouth, you know, like breathing onions and tuna fish on each other, you know, from lunch.
Blood.
Like it was really sexy, you know, but it was like a 9 day period of like when we filmed You Can't Stop the Beat, because it was such a production number. And it wasn't just us who were dancing. Then you had to get the audience reaction and
The
so much
outside
fun.
stuff. Yeah, and again, like where did I see Adam? I saw Adam sometime after Hairspray. I don't remember where it was, but I literally looked at him and I was just like, "Thank you so much for changing my life."
Yeah. I was walking in New York City. It was Fashion Week, and I was with my
Right.
best friend Gino, and we're walking. We just come from a show, and it was like fall, and so I had my dark lipstick on. I was feeling myself, and all of a sudden, I'm walking down this street, and this is New York City. You can run into anybody. I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden, I go,
Fast.
Adam. He goes, Blonsky. We were just on the same street corner. I was like, so it's funny how the world has a way of bringing people back together, and it brought us back together today, and I'm so happy
It
about
does.
that.
It's beautiful.
Well,
Wow.
I adore you, and I love every second that I've spent with you, and I can't wait to spend more in the future, my friend.
I think what's going to be important is for us to plan some sort of a Hairspray reunion at some point.
Anthony and I
Um,
were, this past summer, we were like, we got to a point where we were just like, we had to see everybody. So we were like, we were trying to concoct a little plan like, hey, why don't we just like either do it in New York or Toronto, and like maybe all the New Yorkers go to Toronto, I don't know. But now with COVID, so once everything's done, you, me, and Connect put our thinking caps on, and we got to get in the same city, all of us.
I think between the three of us, we can definitely make this reunion happen.
You know, people have been asking me, literally yesterday in one of my Zoom calls, again, they were like, what are the chances of a reunion? And I'm like, oh my gosh, a Hairspray cast reunion. I think that would be incredible. I would be so down and so in.
I think it's more than possible, and I think enough time has passed, and we're coming up on a pretty big anniversary
Yeah,
of it soon. I can't believe it. Wow,
I know.
wow. So like just wow.
I know. Every birthday that passes, every year on my birthday, I'm like, okay, so like however many years ago, I was at a Hairspray. This birthday, you know, just, you know, eating
Hairspray is
crunch and
definitely a
munch, watching
milestone.
reality TV, but whatever. It's all good. It's
Not
fine. I'm not
not
bitter.
crunch or munch.
I don't know why I thought of crunch and munch, but I love crunch and munch. You know, you never know what to get with me. Come on.
Listen, I my mom loves crunch and munch, so I'm here for it. I love crunch and munch too. I blame her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we should definitely figure out this reunion thing and make it happen.
Oh my gosh, yes. I just need to get in a room with all of you guys. Now we're all legal age to drink. I wasn't back in the day. You
I
guys,
know,
I
poor thing.
was so good. I was so painfully good. Like whenever we would go out and anybody would be drinking, I'd be like, nope. I did. Do you know, Hollywood, that I did not drink at all that entire like I never took a sip of alcohol. I was just like, and I'm not saying this to like pat myself on the back, but like I look back now and I'm like, wow, you could have gone ham.
Yeah, easily,
But you
because like
did.
first of all, Connect's room was ground zero for the turnout. We can
True.
talk about it now because it's legal, but baby, we were huffing and puffing and blowing everybody's house down. Okay.
Right. I wasn't. I was not in. I wasn't even in the fairy tale at that point. I mean,
And
now I've puffed and I've blown the house down. And I said to Anthony recently, I was like, imagine I would be so much more. I would have been so much more fun.
you were already so much fun, and I think that's also why we all were like, "Nah, she's good." And again, remember, we're all watching you, right? Because we're all like big brother, big sister. So we're watching you. But Nikki would come to the club and she'd be in there and she'd be like, okay, guys, I'm going to go home now. How are you getting home? My mom's coming to pick me up. It's the cutest thing. Like, we're all in the club with drinks in our hand and Nikki's just here like, hey, I have to go. My mom's outside.
True Tracy style. Edna was always outside.
Outside. It's beautiful. And if for nothing else, then me, you, and Connect need to go on a vacation somewhere.
Please. I would love
And then
nothing more.
we can invite like Whitney and Twitch
Oh my
and
gosh. That would be so fun.
Shane. We can
Yeah.
invite people, but we should just plan a vacation and be like, this is where we're going. Who's
This is
coming?
where we're going. If you all want to join, we'll drop a pin. We'll let you know the locale. Feel free to join. Pay your own way. See you there. Love you. Bye. I mean, that's how I
Yeah,
leave messages.
that's how I do too. And I'm like, don't show up empty handed. Like, if you plan on drinking, walk with some bottles. If you plan on eating, bring some food.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nothing's changed, Nikki. Nothing's changed.
You know, it's funny. When I was out in LA with Anthony, we were sitting there ordering dinner and I'm ordering him dinner and I'm like, here we are, 14, nothing's changed.
Nothing.
And that's, I think what's so amazing is we've all come so far, like the song. We've all really got a long way to go. And the
Way to
fact that we're
go.
on this journey together and a part of each other's journey, I think that's what I take away from Hairspray is like it made the biggest difference in my life as a project, but it left me with some of those most beautiful individuals to carry throughout my life and go through life with. So that's I think the greatest gift of it all for me.
You're stuck with me, sis. And I know our communication hasn't been like consistent over the years, but I've never not loved you. I've never not wanted to see you win, and I've never not like you've always held a very, very, very sacred and special place in my heart because it's your work ethic, doll. It was I'm telling you, that day of Ladies' Choice, you came in there and I saw the fight in you, and I'm like, anyone who is that brave and that courageous, me and that person need to like, yeah. I will never forget it. I will never forget it. And then when we did the table reading and you did even better,
Oh my God. I'll never forget. I thought I was, good to go because we had recorded Good Morning Baltimore. So I was like, oof, good. I don't have to sing. And then I can hear the bells and I'm like, forgot about that one. I was just like the pressure was on and my heart was pounding. And yeah, if I could bottle that fear inside me, that was like pure adrenaline mixed with like, oh shit, mixed with like, step it up, girl, get it together.
but all of us, because we're all sitting at this table, Queen Latifah's on my right, John Travolta's on my left, Michelle Pfeiffer's directly in front of me. The people who are signing my checks are all sitting over there. And they're like, okay, now get up and dance.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if I really wish I wish they recorded that.
I wonder if I feel like there's probably so much footage that we don't even know about, EPK behind the scenes, because they were constantly rolling you guys, constant.
Yeah. Because you had a whole Nikki camera thing.
I did. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. There's like a whole, oh yeah, I'll send it to you. I think you might even be on it. Anthony's on it. My mom's on it. Rocky's on it. Oh yeah, Nikki Cam. I walked around the set, you guys, with a camera, and I'll never forget the day I did that. Anthony was like, oh, they gave you a camera. I was like, they gave
Oh,
me a camera.
listen, and I was here for it. I'm like, this is what we need. That's the footage that goes into the 20th anniversary limited edition release when they bring us all back together and we sit down and we talk.
Oh,
And what I think is awesome, and this is gonna probably sound arrogant and I don't care. What I think is awesome is that I've done nothing but put in work so that if and when they do this, God's willing, I'm one of the people that they call back and are like, hey, boo, we're doing an anniversary thing. We need to check in with Stewie and see how Stewie's doing.
we're all ready to go. We're just, yeah,
Baby,
it's building that body of work up and being like, okay, you guys gave me my launching pad, really,
bad.
and
Yes.
now it's up to me to keep, everything in flight until you guys, decide to reunite. Because I think it would just be the most magical experience just to get us all together again in one room. I can only imagine the laughs and the tears.
Oh my gosh.
I would be
Real too.
crying nonstop just to like see everybody in person again and like hug everybody, especially post COVID when we haven't been able to like really hug anybody. I would
Yeah.
give anything. I think one of my favorite huggers in the world, it's like, it's a toss up between John. John gives amazing hugs. Queen Latifah gives amazing hugs, but Allison Janney gives like, oh, like,
Listen.
I love her.
Oh,
So
Allison. I
I
one of
really am craving an Allison Janney hug.
That's one of the things that I regret the most. I sort of got to work with her, but not really. Like honestly, that's I remember watching the movie and I laughed my ass off because they let her improv that whole Penny get back here
She is
scene.
the one. She is like the unsung hero of Hairspray. I'm not kidding. She is the comedic. She is so funny. And that is an actress that I've looked up to way before Hairspray. The West Wing has constantly been working. I mean, I loved her since 10 Things I Hate About You when she was the principal. Okay.
10 things I hate
Come
about
on, with the
you.
cat on the mug. I mean, she was genius. So
So
I
good.
I watched that movie faithfully in high school, and then to work with her, I was like, holy shit. And so
Yeah.
it's just those experiences. No amount of money, in a million years could ever replace.
Last thing, and I'll let you go, but like I teach these training programs and I talk about hairspray in these training programs. And without fail, at least two of the students will message me and be like, is everything you said true? Because nobody can believe these stories. No one can believe what this experience was like. And even my audition, like how brazen am I to look at the casting director and be like, no, I didn't, and call my voicemail and let her listen to my voicemail. Like,
Um, you're as brazen as the person who, when they said don't send in a tape, sent in a tape.
let's go.
I mean,
And I don't know if you've lost any of that because I know I've definitely lost some of that, but I'm speaking into your life as well into mine right now that we need to get that tenacity and that energy back because look at what that did for our lives.
it's so true. Just that like brazen, like young, hungry attitude. And it's like I've noticed for me, I'll tell you, I'll be totally honest with you. Going back to a regular job, I went to Starbucks and I got a job. And I'll tell you, Hollywood,
Wow.
it was incredibly, eye-opening isn't even the word, because I would be standing behind the counter and they would be playing Good Morning Baltimore or I Can Hear the Bells over the loudspeaker to my coworkers just to like taunt me or, see if the customers would react. And for me, that's when I stood there and was like, this store may be great for some people, but it's not for me. I have to just go back to that being that young, hungry 17-year-old kid with
Nikki,
just no fear.
Nikki, you're a star friend. You are a star, and you deserve way more than you probably give yourself credit for. And I've always said this to you, you are a star. And if they don't have the roles for you, do exactly what you're doing, write them for yourself. Find somebody who wants to help you. Go into rooms where the role was written for a skinny blonde girl. Look, it's blonde. You know, your wardrobe department might have to go to a different store, but put me up against any of these girls. And that's where I'm at now in my journey, and understanding that my gift is my gift, and it doesn't take away from anybody else's gift. It doesn't diminish anybody else's gift. And you might not think that I'm right for this. And I'm in the room, you are going to want me to come out. Because that's what happened. They auditioned hundreds of thousands of girls for this role, honey. Hundreds of thousands.
It's still, it still blows my mind. Like when I think, because you have to understand, like it seemed like the biggest thing in the world for me to like.
Yes.
I was like, it's imagine like growing up, I guess like you look at certain people, I guess Michael Jordan probably never, growing up, he was like, I just want to play ball. And then, but you never
Mm-hmm.
think you're going to get to the NBA championships. Like you never think you're going to get to and I never thought, I just wanted to sing. And I just,
Nikki, and that's where we're similar. Like, I mean, do you have time? Are we okay for
yeah.
time?
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
wicked. Okay. Um, what I was gonna say is I watched Michael Jordan's thing and The Last Dance on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, it's really good. Like the narrative, I'm like, whoever did this documentary, I would hire you to do a documentary on my life, because the way you did this was so good. But like listening to him talk and seeing his drive, it really, what it did for me, it solidified why he is who he is. And in getting this job as a choreographer on Canada's Drag Race, having the things that these people said to me and about me, and everybody being like, no, this is yours. Fun story. I'm on stage, first day, waiting for the queens to come out, and I'm going over my routine. And the executive producer takes the mic from the director. I have a little thing in my ear so they can keep me on time. And he's like, we don't want you to be Todrick. We don't want you to be Yanis. We don't even want you to be Jamal. We hired Hollywood Jade. And
that's how
here's
you know.
the craziest part about it is that, God, it gets me every single time. It gets me. The craziest thing about it is I didn't even have to say anything. He was watching the monitors and saw all of the worry and the panic. He's like, look, all we want you to do is be authentically you. You are enough. That's what he said. That's basically what he said to me in that moment. And I was just like, wow. And I'm saying this to you as well. You have a skill set and you have a talent. And wherever you found it that day when you had to come into the rehearsal room with all of us and do Ladies' Choice. And it was a hard day. And guys, I need you to understand, like Ladies' Choice, it wasn't just her and the council kids. It wasn't just her and the detention kids. It was council kids, detention kids.
So many people.
So many people. She's not a dancer. And if you've watched the movie, you know that this is her full on, this is your minute, go in. And baby,
It's my
the best,
time to hook link. It's so much going
all of
on.
it. And when I watched that scene in that movie, I remember that day so, so vividly. I remember it so vividly. And everybody being like, oh, this is Link's big moment, and blah 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 blah, and it's da 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 da. And me and Zach, we had such a strange. I really want to reach out to him. We had such a strange like bond. Like it was great. He said everybody thinks the scene is about him, but it's really about her. And when I turned to my face, you were in the corner behind the little thing with the lighting thing, practicing. And I'm like, and when we shot this, we are months into filming, guys. Like we rehearsed for 2 months and then we started filming. We are in the thick of filming. We felt like, and she did it, and she showed up, and there's extras in the room now, baby. It is one of my
And
favorite
then they
moments in this
decided to
movie.
throw in a crew from MTV that day to interview us for a show. And I'm like, you guys, really? Like, as if my heart isn't pounding out of my chest enough. Let's just invite MTV, for shits and giggles.
But everything they threw at you, you stepped up to the plate, and I'm saying all of this to you, and I know this isn't what this is supposed to be, but I don't care if the spirit's moving me and I'm following it. I'm saying all of this to you to encourage you to understand that at 17 and 18 years old, everything you needed to survive, you already had. So everything that's happened to you since then has only been to add, to help elevate and keep lifting. I can't wait. 2022 feature film starring you. Let's go.
I would love that. I just now going on Instagram again and seeing, some of my friends being back at work and in their trailers. I'm like, oh, thank God. Ooh, okay. I'm like, please let me back in. Let me back in. Any trailer, just let me in.
You will never work another regular job as far as I'm concerned, even if I have to find something for you to do for me. Never again. Ever.
It was, I think for me, it made me appreciate what
Yeah.
I have in hair. Like I've always appreciated Hairspray, but there's something incredibly sobering about having that incredible experience in a workplace and then having a not incredible experience in a very
Bitch, who
different
are you
workplace.
telling? Who
So
are you telling?
I was
I
like,
moved to LA after Hairspray with all that money in my bank account, and then I had to come back home.
yeah,
Okay, and there have been times for me when I don't know where my rent money's coming from. It's like, oh, okay, so there's no work this month. All right, so now we are going to be eating noodles and frying eggs
yep.
and peanut butter and jelly, and these are the realities that nobody discussed. These are the things that people don't talk about. But what I'm telling you is, Nikki, you have a gift, and your gift would be squandered and wasted working at a Starbucks. So even if it means you need to go and sleep on someone's couch for a second and be out here at an open stage, or I don't know what the equivalent is for
Just
acting,
never
but
be too proud to follow your dreams. I think that's
this
what,
is it,
I think
friend.
for a while I was so proud of like the Hairspray thing that I was afraid to like admit that like I wasn't working as much as I wanted to because I felt like I had this huge thing to uphold, right? Hairspray like propelled me into the universe, and I was so afraid of people finding out that maybe I wasn't working as much as I would like to, or and then I was like, you know what? Stop. All the noise. Stop. Like this is my life and I need to take hold of it, and I just need to see what's going to happen, but also make sure I put in the work now with the projects so that my future, I kind of know what I'm walking into.
This is it. And I was gonna say something and I lost it. Damn it. It was really good. Oh, I remember. I think too, now that you are living your most authentic truth, let me go back. At 17, your existence and what you gave us was authentic to your experience.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm going there. I think part of what could have stopped you from fully being the star that you are is that there was so much of you that you were hiding. So when you would go in and audition for things, we're looking at you, we're like, yeah, but something doesn't feel right. Something's missing. Da da da. And now that you are living in your authentic experience, I can't wait for you to get into an audition room because, baby, you are going to turn it out in a way that the kids weren't even prepared and ready for. And now the narrative is going to be Tracy's all grown up
Oh, well, Tracy is all grown up.
and turned out. Ow.
I'm just saying. She, I think that's been like the coolest thing about, this whole experience is like really just discovering who I am as a person, like having me at 17 immortalized forever as Tracy, this like amazing, you know,
Iconic.
iconic, fierce character, but also um, letting taking on the role of Tracy and the roles that I've taken on in the past have kind of really just morphed me into the person I am today. They've added, you know, it's like, look, in Starbucks terms, they were just flavor shots. You know, the base for the coffee was there, the shots and the, you know, God knows it was there.
Friend,
It's
and
so
I
like
love it.
everything has just seasoned us along the way to become what we're going to become in the future. And I can't wait to see where your career takes you, because I remember talking to Anthony and I was just like, I'm just so thrilled for him because he does such amazing
Thank
quality
you.
work and he's such a beautiful human being. And I love you, my friend.
Well, I'm speaking into existence that me, you, and Anthony will be working on your project together. Um, in any capacity whatsoever, honestly. And know that I hear you, and knowing where you are in your journey, if I can help, I'm going to help. And I think there are ways that I can help actually. There's a lot of really great things that are coming up with me and the different organizations that I'm a part of, with Drag Race being as queer as it is. A lot more people are like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? Hey, can you help us with that? So I can feel and see that there will be plenty of opportunities for me to send some things your way. And if it works out, it works out. And if it doesn't, then at least you know where I'll be if you want to just pop by and say hi.
Well, same here. Please know that it works both ways. And I'm going to keep these peepers open for anything. You know,
Please. And
I'm
I
working
tell
on some things over here.
I love it. I tell people all the time, like I don't think I will ever be too big to do anything. Like I like being the assistant.
I do too.
Because when I'm the assistant,
I love being in my own work and I love knowing, like, call it a control thing, call it whatever you will. I like being on top of the ball. And like it goes back to respect, and it goes back to respecting the careers that we have. And, you know,
yes,
if I have to check my calendar 4 million times a day and set 4,000 alarms, and like, these are all the things that just, you know, it leads to a great end product, I think.
you're beaming. I remember watching when all this COVID stuff started. I remember watching your live with you and Ricky, and I'm like, you are beaming. You're
I
just
just
so
love,
happy.
I love
You
talking
are
to
just
people.
so happy.
I love
And
conversing
and
with people,
and
you know?
And hey, I think there is something there. I think there's something there,
Well, I have
because
to
what we
say,
thought it was gonna be
I have
doesn't
to,
necessarily have to be what it is.
I would have never known that, like, when I started this back in, oh my gosh, April now, on my Instagram live show I think we're about almost 100 episodes deep into this podcast. And
Crazy.
I really feel honored that people just want to hear what I have to say and just want to check in and make it a part of their day. And the fact that the guests that I've had, like you and other amazing people, just lending their time and their stories, like you say, it's about making that difference in somebody's life. So whoever is listening out there right now, there could be a little boy listening who maybe has thought of dance, or who maybe doesn't quite know, you know, maybe there's a little queer kid out there, a little girl out there, you know, who maybe, you know, so we just, it's incredibly just powerful to just know that with platforms like a podcast or Instagram lives or whatever it is, we can all make a huge impact on each other's lives if just we just act with kindness and we just treat people the way that we would want to be treated. I think that's what it is for me.
I'm still a crybaby. I still cry for everything, and I don't care.
I love that.
I'm completely in tune with my emotions,
I'll tell
and
you, after I worked for Lifetime, the tears dried up. I never cried so much in my life. I was like, oh girl, you cried enough for like 4 years. Not gonna, I think I didn't cry for like 6 years. It was just,
Lifetime will do it to you, man. Oh
it
man,
will.
that
I'm
was good. I
waiting
needed
for
that.
like,
That was good.
I was talking to my friend recently and I said, I think I always bring everything back to work and I can't help it because we love what we do.
Ditto.
And I said, I think all of the bullshit that I've been through recently has emotionally prepared me for my next role. I was like, that's the only way I can make sense of these things in my mind. So yeah, everything prepares you for something that's coming. So whatever we're all going through right now, lean on your friends. I'm lucky enough to lean on a friend like you and chat with you, and we'll see where we all are in a few months, I'm sure. My God, because the months are just going to keep flying by with this thing.
I can't believe it's already October.
I know. I'm already, it's like for me, whenever my birthday kicks off, then I know it's really downhill. I'm like, all right, it's the birthday, then it's Thanksgiving, then we're on to Christmas, then
Yeah.
we're at Valentine's Day, and it's a whole other
You skipped
catastrophe.
my birthday, but that's okay.
Oh my gosh, right? Your
That's
birthday is when again? It's
January
You're
4th.
close to my mom.
Yep.
That's right.
It's
Well,
it's good, but I again I'm so happy, and thank you for having me on this platform and wanting to celebrate me and exchange with me. And I hope that you leave this conversation better than you came in, because that's my mandate. My mandate is that people leave from an experience with me better than they came in. And I know I'm going to go into the rest of my day in bliss and joy, super, super happy
me
and
too.
grateful that we got to experience such a great thing collectively, individually. And I can't wait to see what we get to do collectively again,
Same here.
because
It was a
it's coming.
beautiful trip down memory lane, but a beautiful foreseeing into the future.
1000%. You are radiant, and I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. As
Um,
I am of you. It's Anthony and I sat there on his couch and we watched you. And we were so proud. I mean, just like we were just celebrating, we were celebrating a family member. We were so thrilled. And it was just beautiful. And it was also really trippy because we were like, wait, that's our friend. But he's like on TV, just like slaying the game. I mean, it was amazing. So thank you
and
guys
looking cute.
and always looking cute, though. I have to say, I learned a lot from you, my friend. Okay, but if I learned how to look cute. Okay,
Baby, I was
I'm
like,
just
no, you're not
saying
wearing that. No, go change that shirt. You're going out with me tonight.
that is right. Well, I can't wait to go out with you again. I
Oh,
love
yes. I love you too. This was so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can't wait. I can't wait, because this is literally just the beginning. We've got so much further to go.
you. We do. We do. Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman wrote the song. We got so far to go.
So far to
I mean,
go.
there's literally a Hairspray joke for everything. I'm not kidding. I make them. I've started to make them all the time now. I'm like, you can't stop the beat.
Yeah, and you should. You know why? Because that's part of your history. People, a very good friend of mine, sort of like a mentor almost, he was like, "You don't talk about Hairspray." I'm like, "Yeah, because it happened." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's huge." He's like, "People are talking about a stupid music video they did for some artist that nobody knows. You were in a major motion picture. You had lines, and the DPs, whenever they needed a reaction, they cut to you." Like, so
Yes, this is true.
this is true. So it's like, yeah, absolutely make the jokes and keep it relevant, because it is relevant. And like, even now I have kids who are like, oh my God, they'll come and take my class. They're like, Hollywood, I went home. Like, you're like in Hairspray, like for real, for real. Like, not just like, I'm like, yeah, like I'm in it. It's like, holy crap. And everybody freaks out. It's great. And you are Hairspray.
Well, thank you. I just, I just love it so much. I love the movie so much. I love the message of it. I just love Tracy. Like as I get older,
Hmm.
she's like that young spirit that lives inside of me that like never lets me forget that excitement. Like she is
Yeah,
the excitement that lives inside of me for sure.
I hear that. I hear that 110%. And Tracy ignited something in all of us. You literally were the nucleus of it. You made us all step up. You made us all work harder because you cared so much. It made us care.
Well, thank you. I just,
Yeah,
oh, I love you. This has been the best.
agreed. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you as
And
well.
I'm going to send you my phone number just so you
Please,
have it. And let's stay in touch. If
always.
you need to brainstorm, if you're having a bad day and you're like, Hollywood, this is what's happening, I got the remedy for that. Trust me, I got
Oh, well,
playlists for
I'm going to be
everything.
DMing you in like 10 minutes to tell you about a project that you're going to be like, what? That's so funny. It was just something
We're
that dawned
definitely,
on me and I really want to run with it. So
yeah, where do
I'll be
I?
sliding into your DMs very shortly.
Well, I'm going to slide into your DMs and give you my phone number so then you can just call me about it.
Sounds good. I love
Yes.
you. Be
I
well.
love you too. Please tell your mom, Joey, and your dad, and everybody I said I send my love, and
Oh, I
my
will.
love has never, ever, ever wavered. It's never gone anywhere. And congratulations to him on his engagement. I hate that there are that the people who were children to me, like my friend's brother just turned 30, and I'm like,
I know. I
I
know.
knew you when you were like 9.
It's my dad and I were talking this morning, and he was like, "Oh, who are you talking to today?" I was like, "Hollywood." He's like, "Tell him I said my best. I love him." I was like, "I will." And then Joey's fiance came out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like time has gone by so fast, but we're all still the same people, but we've all grown so much, you know.
Yeah, and we still look great. So hey, camera crew, film us.
Just saying, you guys. Just saying.
Just saying. You want quality performance? This is where you find it. I love you. This was
I love
beautiful.
you.
Thank you so much for this. Wow.
Thank you.
I can't wait to share this with everybody. So let me know when I can do that. And
Oh yeah, I think it'll be up this week. I'll send it to you and we'll get it. Yeah, we'll send you the whole graphic and everything. There's like I've been very fortunate with this podcast to work with my publicist Diana, who has helped me so much with it. And then we have an amazing editor, Sarah, who puts like a little intro with music at the beginning because I don't know. I don't know how to do that stuff.
yeah, I think because I have my podcast too, and I think for the launch of next year, I'm gonna like zhuzh it and get a real background and all that tea. But I enjoy the informality of this and it feeling just so authentic and real. And the feedback from everybody has always been like, I love your thing because it feels like I'm sitting in your kitchen with you and your friend.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I ever want my guests to feel is like, hey, that sounded like a conversation I've had with my friends, you know, just like shooting the shit, catching up, and just getting down to the real, you know, the nitty gritty of what
Yeah.
makes each other tick. And yeah, the important stuff, the good stuff.
I love you. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you've come into your own in your fullness, and I can't wait to see what you do now that you are fully living your most authentic and genuine life. It's crazy what's about to happen for you. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Oh my
You
gosh,
have
you're hyping me up right now. I'm
you
excited.
have
I have to say, for the first time in a really long time, I'm super genuinely excited. Like, I'm like, you know what?
agreed.
There's going to be some twists and turns, I'm sure, but I'm ready. I'm so ready for like,
Agreed.
here we go.
Agreed. I think the world too is ready for a change. Um, when we did Hairspray, the world was ready for a shift, and we shifted the world, and the world is ready for another shift. We are right on time.
That's
We
an
are right on
amazing way
time.
of putting it. It definitely, Hairspray definitely did shift the world. And I feel like we are right on time. It's time. You know, Tracy has that signature line, people who are different, your time is coming. I say people who are different, your time is now. That's it.
Let's go. Your time is now. Uh, Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. I will see you soon.
All right, love. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, that was the best, you guys. I can't tell you how many endless hours and days I have spent with Hollywood Jade and just on the set of Hairspray. That movie changed my life. Not just in the way you guys think, like it's a big movie and I know I'm getting emotional, but yeah, I sometimes don't understand or like I can't let myself fully feel the magnitude of Hairspray because sometimes it can be like a really overwhelming feeling because you're like, oh my gosh. But for me, when I think back at the experiences, they're so personal. And I look back at the friendships with Hollywood. And I can tell you today that I would not be the confident gay woman that I am without friends in my life like Hollywood, Jamal Sims, Adam Shankman, people that have, you know, Dot Marie Jones set this, example for me so many years ago when I met them and when they came into my life and I came into theirs. So, what I'm saying to you guys is we can all impact each other's lives. Sometimes we don't realize we're impacting each other's lives, but sometimes just by being yourself and living your authentic self and your truth, you can inspire others to do that. So, as much as I learned about dance from Hollywood, I learned a lot about being myself. So thank you, my friend. I love you. And until later, guys. See ya.